fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, and we are live. Let's hit that like button for all the 6 people in there. I'll let the chat load. I'm a little early, so I'm giving people some slack. But while you guys are in here, hit that like button, okay? YouTube's been screwy lately. I'm telling you, they have been screwy. I have over 70,000 subscribers, and half the people haven't seen any of my notifications. So hit that like button. Anthony Mandela Gandhi Johnston is a bum. Andrew says, Jack P, I saw you in Walmart crying. Is everything okay? Okay. No, you didn't see me in Walmart, Jack P. Okay, we got 1 like out of 11. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. But as we wait, you know what this is. This is a question about AJ. Is AJ a bully? You know, because I've read the comments. We know what happened with Anthony Joshua. We know what happened with those college students. We know what happened, right? Quan Big Guns. AJ is not a bully. He just told the little glass chin the truth. Mr. PR, the media trained puppet's mask is slipping more and more, showing how much of a faker he really is. You know, let's talk about that for a second. When you see Anthony Joshua, what gives you the idea that he's fake? And let me give you an example. Jarrell Miller. You remember he's going to fight Jarrell Miller? Mr. PR, the media train. Okay. Bailey Frankston. Quan Big Guns. Those were little kids. You don't do that to little kids. I think there were college students, but I don't know. I mean, there's certain types of bullying, though. You got to keep it real. There's certain types of bullying when it comes to bullying. You know, you can verbal bully somebody, especially if they're young. You know, you don't have to put your hands on someone to be considered a bully. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind. Michael J. Glass Chin says the glass cannon. A world-class boxer don't need to show 12-year-old kids who the boss is. Joshua is a waste man. The Racing Angel. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Ahija, Salasi. People call him media trained, and when he pops off, people says that he's the real AJ's coming out. You can't have it both ways. I mean, here's my thing. Let me counterpunch on that, right? That you have a point. A lot of people say that AJ's too nice, right? He's too nice. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. You know, and then when he says something to someone that's not within that boundary of PR appearance, you call him fake or you call him real. So it's crazy. Kurt, would you be shocked if AJ knocked out Usyk in a rematch under 6? It depends on what type of Usyk showed up. If Usyk was attacking vigorously like Manny Pacquiao was against Juan Manuel Marquez, no. But if he was doing the same thing he did in the first fight, I would be, because that meant AJ would have to set up that punch. How old are uni students? I got no idea. I don't know either. 18 plus. 18, 19. Okay. College 16 plus? Well, I don't know. I mean, if you were 16 years old and you was in college, it's either two things. Really one. You'd have to skip the grade. That meant you was a smart motherfucker, or you got out early and started college. That meant still you was a smart motherfucker. So it didn't really matter if you were, you know, that's 16. Mostly it's 17 and up. And this is the United States. I call it the separated states because no state is the same. Every state has different rules. Let's hit that like button. We got 8 likes. We got 30 people in here. Let's hit the like button. Yeah, you're a genius or a prodigy. Exactly, Mark Anthony. If that was me, I would have KO'd all of those kids, but AJ didn't do that, so he's not a bully. After college, it's uni. Okay, well, yeah, we don't do that over here. After high school, you got college, or if you're broke as fuck, like I was, you would go to community college. You wouldn't go to an Ivy League school because you don't have the money, or you don't have a wicked jump shot, right? You're not going to college. You're not going to a major college unless you want to do Sally Mae. If you guys know anything about that, that's like a lone group. Kurt, you think Bivol going to beat Better Beeve? I think so. I don't know. I have no idea if he's going to beat Better Beeve or not, because that's a different fight. What's community college? Really? It's a college that you can afford as Americans. That's exactly what it is. It's the college you go to before college, really. But I mean, that's the only college I went to. So that's the only college that I was going to tolerate. What did they let AJ in the first place? Why did they let AJ in? I don't know. That's a good question, because he was allowed back in that area. I left school when I was 17. Fury and AJ's head for a long time. Yeah, it was about Tyson Fury, wasn't it? Let me guess, Bailey is a Fury fanboy here. Who the hell is Bailey? Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Fanboys, man, I tell you. Special made casuals. That's what I call fanboys. Special made casuals. And I just made that shit up. Then once and showed his true colors. I mean, he's done that a lot. I mean, shit. My question is, what do you call, what's a perfect example of a perfectly trained PR athlete? Can anybody give me anybody that's perfectly trained as well as PR? Can anybody name some names? Let's hit that like button. I'll tell you what, let's just go as far as this. If you don't hit the like button, get the fuck out. How about that? Because if you're not here to support, you're here to hate, and I don't even really need and don't have the time for any of it. So if you're not going to hit the like button, just drop off. Hit the like button. See him a lot of comments nosing off Fury. Nah, it's your mom. Those kids heckled AJ about Tyson Fury and he lost his mind. It's on the news articles. Every action will receive a reaction. Deal with it. Well, that's true. I think that they didn't think Anthony Joshua was really going to do anything. I thought they were just going to say something. You got a lot of people that talk a lot of shit. I mean, you got a lot of shit talkers. I mean, a lot. A lot of shit talking people to the point where it's like, I had a cousin, all right? He was smaller. You bullied me for a like. No, I didn't. That's just respect. That's just respect. Like, if you're going to come in, hit the like button. It costs you nothing. It's not a super chat. It's not, something that I'm begging. No, hit the like button. So it's 38 people in here. It would be different. Because my shit's crazy. It's like, I'll have 300 people in, 60 likes. Like, hit the like button. It's crazy. I need your early prediction of Shakur versus Lomachenko. All right, before that, let me talk to you guys about my cousin. He was one small shit talking person. And a lot of times, shit talking really goes hand in hand with feminism. What do I mean? Because a lot of women talk a lot of shit and they do a lot of things because they figure that they won't get the equal reaction back. You know, like calling men bitches. No woman likes to be called that word, right? But then you call a woman that word, then it's all of a sudden, oh shit. Trash talking is the same way, especially if you have some type of handicap. If you're small or you're handicapped physically, you think you can say and do anything. Or young, you think you can say and do anything to anybody. And it's crazy because that's so far from the truth. Because what happens, it's like when you say something to someone and you don't expect them to say it back, and then when they say something to you, you're shocked. Because those kids were shocked, man. They didn't say anything. You didn't see them saying anything back. You didn't see them. That was just a monologue, a one-way monologue. Listen, maybe he felt he's in the USA, so I have to come different because the UK, there's too much cameras, and I'm from the UK, so for me, it's how it. Plus, he didn't want the Americans to think he ain't about it. I mean, I guess that is true, but I mean, that's everywhere. You can't do a lot of shit now that you used to. You got too many cameras. You know, like when I was a kid, I used to go make out at the park. We were the chick. You can't do that shit now. You go to jail, man. Somebody have you on camera. They have you on camera. They got your car. They got your license plate. You can't do that type of fun stuff no more. Kurt, have you been watching Tyan Booth? He said exactly the same thing. No, I have not. I mean, I've heard of him. You know, he has a pretty good fan base and whatever for an ex-boxer. But what do you think? He's an ex-boxer. Suleiman will never let Dillian White fight another WBC fight. What White has to try. White has to try anything else, Quan. He lost a whole lot of time with the WBC, to be honest. I mean, you know what Dillian White has done? Dillian White has got his sanctioning fees back from the WBC by fighting Tyson Fury. That's really all he's really accomplished. Because he spent millions of dollars to the WBC. He got pimped out by the WBC. How about finger blasting on a park bench? What does that mean? Loma versus Shakur breakdown, and who do you favor? Brandon. Okay. I don't know, because it depends. First off, is it even cool to even talk about a fight between still Lomachenko's in some trench, some basement, somewhere with a gun, fighting another country? But I can tell you this. Based on the last Lomachenko that I've seen fight, I didn't really like his performance. I didn't. What was it? The African fellow. I didn't like his performance at all. Blues boxing. He just mentioned, he gave some guys a scenario of violence. He didn't say that he would do it. He made sure of that. So he didn't ever say I would crack your jaws. He said, what if I brought somebody in here to crack your jaws? That's what the man said. Good day, Kurt. No, Femi is not a bully. I disagree. I also agree with your take on Rolly versus Javante Tank Davis. Whoa, oh shoot. Appreciate it, brother. Let's hit that like button. Get those likes up. Finger blasting. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means, Mark Anthony. I don't know what finger blasting means. I don't. I'm not from the UK. Fury doesn't want to fight Sanchez. I don't think Fury wants to fight anybody now. I think Fury wants to chill for a minute. I waited 1,634 days to get knocked out. Dillian White was a waste of time. Well, you can't say he didn't get his opportunity though, did he? You think now Tank promotes himself, he'll fight the top dogs? It depends. Because if he still stays with Showtime, he's still going to run into the network problems. Look, that's just like Terrence Crawford saying that I'm still going to stay with Top Rank. I'm just not going to be with Bob Arum. Or I'm still going to stay with ESPN. That's better to say, right? I'm just not going to be with Bob Arum. I mean, it's the same shit. So nothing really changes. And Leonard Ellerby, they know that. They know that shit. How do you see Usyk Fury? I see Usyk, I see Usyk beating Tyson Fury. I just see it. Dillian White was nowhere near the speed, the skill, the reflexes of Tyson Fury whatsoever. He was not. He proved that. But Dillian White is nowhere near Usyk. I don't give a shit if he's considered a true heavyweight or a top heavyweight. Yeah, he was a top heavyweight. He's still a top heavyweight. But we see what he can do and what he can't do. We see his limitations, don't we? Do we see that on Usyk? No, we don't. Kurt, that's an interesting theory. Tell me why. Because Usyk is a guy that we've already seen Tyson Fury outboxed by Steve Cunningham, a cruiserweight. We hear Tyson Fury talk about and joke about Anthony Joshua being beat up by a blown up middleweight or a cruiserweight in Usyk. That should tell you all you need to know about Tyson. Tyson would try his best to maul Usyk because he would be incapable of outboxing him. That's it. He would be better off. But here's the thing. I think Tyson Fury could do a better job than Joshua did, but I don't think he would win. I don't think he would beat Usyk. Let's hit that like button. You know, because I mean, Tyson Fury knows what to do and he knows what not to do. He knows who to fight and who not to fight. He had a choice. He had a choice to fight Usyk or he had a choice to fight Dillian White. He fought Dillian White. He didn't want to pay Anthony Joshua that damn money. So what he did, he fought Dillian White. That's it. Skrilla50, what's up, brother? Counterpunch. Nicholas, Kurt, can you do a live call-in show soon? I can, and I will. You know, I'm getting a lot of things set up, like tech-wise, you know, so I will have a number to call in, either probably through, I don't know, maybe WhatsApp, you know, because I know everybody has a WhatsApp. If you don't, then you could call in. And I think that would be better. I think that would help the channel out in lives as well. So definitely. If Fury goes using his size, he can beat Usyk though. That's if he can use his size. See, this is my thing. You guys pretend like someone using their size is something optional. If he can benefit using his size, how can he do that? Grab on him, lean on him. What if you can't catch him? What if trying to grab him, you get caught with 3-piece combos, no sides? That shit ain't like, oh, I'm going to use my size. No, you're going to attempt to use your size. You're going to attempt to put yourself in a position to use your size. That shit don't work like, hey, I'm going to use my size in this fight. Let me hit the option for use my size as no. It doesn't work that way. If you got a smaller guy and you either have to grab him, which I don't doubt that Tyson Fury can't do. So don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, At times he may be able to, but that shit ain't gonna work all the time. When a guy can slip under your shots, but giving you three and before you slip your three, he might give you three. You might throw two. You might miss those two because he's spinning out. He's not gonna let you jump on him. Do you think Loma? You think Alexander Usyk? Do you think these guys like for fucking people to grab them? No, they don't like people to grab on them. What did he do to Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua tried to grab him when he got nailed by Usyk? Usyk pushed his ass off because those guys don't like that type of. I think honestly they're claustrophobic. I think those Ukrainians are claustrophobic, and they're so used to the Olympic style. They're so used to that. They're used to moving. They're not used to getting smothered up by a big fucking bear, a big bear smothering you. They're not used to that. Why? Because it limits what they can do. It limits their movement. It limits their reflexes. It limits their footwork. That's why they don't like to get grabbed, people. So you guys talking about, oh, Tyson Fury, all he has to do is use his size. That shit's easier said than done. I'm trying to tell you guys. So everybody thinking, oh man, all he has to do is just use his size. Yeah. You think AJ didn't try to do that shit? That poor bastard. You think he's the only one? Everybody's like, he's a bum. That motherfucker fought a guy that hasn't probably been beaten since Sean Porter, since the amateurs. And even Sean Porter wasn't a damn golden Olympian, you know. But it shows you a style that could deal with someone like Usyk. But that Sean Porter, though, people, that's a whole different weight class. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about 165 pounds. We're talking about 220 plus. And Tyson's a fast, big man. But even a fast, big man had problems with a smaller, fast man. Cunningham. Bars. Let's hit that like button. Cunningham was 2013. Fury is a completely different fighter now that he shows how far people have to reach back. Well, here's the thing, Michael. He might be a different fighter. He might be on that crunk shit. You know, but does that mean he's a faster fighter? And look, let's be honest. Who are we judging Tyson Fury's performances off of? I don't even really want to go in on Fury like that because I love Tyson Fury because there's only one Tyson Fury. But since we're only talking about the one and only Tyson Fury, let's start with some facts. Who are we preparing him? What performances are we talking about? We're talking about Deontay Wilder, limited fighter. We're talking about Dillian White, limited fighter. There ain't been nobody else. And what happened when he did fight a smaller southpaw? Who was the last southpaw that he fought? Did he knock that motherfucker out? Who was he? Can somebody tell me who he was? Can somebody tell you who he was? No, Michael J. I'm not against him. What was the last southpaw that Tyson Fury fought? Otto Vailini, thank you. UX by Killian. And what happened in that fight? Yes, the cut, it showed he had balls. It showed he was tough. I always knew Tyson Fury was tough. I always knew that. We seen he was tough against Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder when he got caught in the 12th round and got up like and rose like Lazarus. All right? I'm not saying that he's not tough, and I'm not hating on Tyson Fury. I'm just stating the facts. I think what it is, people get sensitive when they don't when I don't say, you know what, due to Tyson Fury's size, he's just going to beat Usyk. When you come with an objective approach, people are always going to look at you crazy. Tyson dominated Klitschko. Klitschko ain't no fucking Usyk. Usyk dominated Klitschko. Next. It just wasn't in a fight, but it was in the ring. That's why he got kicked out. So what else you got? Otto Vailini went 12 rounds with Tyson Fury. Facts. Busted Tyson Fury up, cut him twice. Tyson Fury beat him. Now I ain't gonna sit here and say that Otto Vailini was robbed or no dumb shit like that. Now that's on some hatery. No, but what I'm saying is Otto Vailini Smaller, not even a hard puncher, quicker, I don't even think he's quicker than Tyson Fury. Stuck his thumb in Fury's eye. Well, that damn thumb he stuck in his eye, St. John, ain't the reason those cuts were on the side of his eye now. Come on now. Michael J., of course, in sparring. In a media workout, he made him look dumb. He kicked him out. Get the fuck out of here. You're making me look bad. You're making me look bad, Oleg. Come smile with me in this picture. Now get the fuck out of here. That's what Vlad said to Usyk. Otto Wallin gave him a real fight. It was a dope fight. Otto Wallin ain't bad. No, he ain't bad. No, he's not bad. That's the point. A southpaw that pressured Tyson Fury. Chisora gave Usyk a good fight. Chisora will give anybody a good fight as long as he don't get knocked out or caught or dropped or tire out. But Kurt, Usyk's almost lost to Bradis. Almost ain't good enough, motherfucker. We ain't talking about Bradis. We're talking about Tyson Fury. And Dillian Whyte didn't give Tyson Fury enough resistance to check anything about him. He just was on a different level than Dillian Whyte. We all know that. Anybody that's seen that fight, we seen Tyson Fury step, beautiful combinations. But he did what he wanted to. He didn't have nobody with upper body movement, foot speed. What foot speed? Dillian Whyte was stumbling and bumbling all over the place. That fight was absolutely horrific. But it showed one thing. It showed that Tyson Fury was levels above Dillian Whyte. That's what it showed. Only that, though. Only Dillian Whyte. Not Usyk, not Joshua, not fucking Ruiz, not Joyce, not any of those other guys. But Kurt, you forgot he dominated Chisora twice. Okay, that's fine. I mean, you guys act like I am taking away from Tyson Fury and his ability. I just was asked a question. Do I think he'll beat Usyk? And the answer is no. I don't think he will beat Usyk. AJ did not show he was levels above White. He did not. But St. Don, if it's fair to say, like most people, like somebody just said, well, AJ, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was in 2015, so that puts it about 7 years ago. Coming from a guy that did not really know much. Right? I mean, is it fair to say? I don't know. You tell me. Kurt, some refs would have stopped Tyson Fury versus Otto Wallin with that terrible cut. Well, oh shoot. Of course they would have. If he wasn't on that contract with ESPN and he was just a novice fighter as any other fighter, they would have. I agree with that. But I don't know, Kurt. I think Joe Joyce is the dark horse in the division. I've been saying this for years. Listen, he would beat Fury. I think saying he would beat AJ Wilder, that chin like Grant. Well, Daniel, I don't think Joe Joyce would beat Tyson Fury. I just don't. He's not fast enough. I think Tyson Fury would do the same thing he did to Dillian Whyte, except Dillian Whyte, I think Tyson Fury would do the same thing to Joe Joyce that he did with Dillian Whyte. The only difference is, because of that chin, he would be doing it all night. Now, the question would be, though, could Tyson Fury keep that shit up for 12 rounds? You have to understand that shit was over in 5. He knocked out Dillian Whyte in 5 rounds. That shit was over with. Joyce will at least jab Fury. That's true. And he will pressure Fury. That's true too. You know, now I will tell you this, and I want people to understand. It is May 25th, 2022. If those guys ever fought, if Tyson Fury is lying to everybody and bullshitting us, and he does come back to the sport and he does fight Joe Joyce, I will tell you guys this about that fight. Here's a bonus. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. If Tyson Fury fights Joe Joyce and he runs out of gas, that is his ass. Because if he runs out of gas, this ain't Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder was limited, but Deontay Wilder, his gas tank was also limited. So yeah, Tyson Fury was tired in the trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder, but so was Deontay Wilder. Fury's engine is great. No, it ain't great. No, it's not. He gets tired, and he got tired. I just don't understand this. If you get tired, you just get tired. There's no need for damage control after you've already won a fight. I mean, it's not my pet peeve. My pet peeve is coming up with a bunch of excuses after you lost. But if you've won, there's no need for them. You know, because that's not what was said before that damn fight started. What was said before that fight, that Tyson Fury was in great shape. Yeah. Tyson Fury had a hell of a camp. Yeah. Tyson Fury did all the necessities to get the job done. Yeah. So, there. And that fight happened. Oh, Tyson Fury couldn't even run 3 miles. Or 3 minutes or some shit like that. I'm like, wait a minute. You guys didn't say that shit before the fight. Why are you saying it now? It wasn't necessary. Knockdowns take it out of you. Yeah, they kind of do. But understand something, say Don. Those knockdowns that he received, I think it was only one. It was 2 official knockdowns. But I think the first knockdown was the one that actually hurt him and the only one that hurt him. He didn't get hit with anything else. If you go back and watch that fight in the 4th round, trilogy fight, Wilder, Fury, 3. Wilder hit Fury with a good right hand. Bow! He caught his ass. He knew he caught him. That's why he's like, oh, I got him. Because his legs kind of did a little dance. And then here comes Wilder. Fury fell. Because Fury knew, I'm not going to get hit with another shot like this. So he fell. Not to say he wasn't going down anyway. But he fell instinctively. Fell. He gets back up. Wilder goes at him. He fights him again. Wonderful. But then I think he kind of touched him on the side of the head or something. He went down again. But he went down again because he knew, I'm still hurt from that punch. But you notice, Tyson Fury took his time. You see how he kind of sit in that corner? Tyson Fury's a smart specimen of a fighter, man. You have to understand that. Tyson Fury knows how to fucking win. Understand that. He was hurt, but he wasn't like, oh, I got hit again, now I'm hurt. No, because that meant he would have been hurt more. Tyson Fury's not an idiot. Tyson Fury knows if I get hit with another big ass shot like that, this fight could be over, and he knew it. So let me go ahead and I got one knockdown. He got one knockdown. Fuck it, it ain't over. It'll be over if I get hit again like that. So guess what? I'm going to go down again. So he went down again. He took a stuntman dive because he knew I needed those seconds to recuperate. Breathe. He needed that. He wouldn't hit again after that first right hand. He says AJ is a big stiff dosser. Well, that big stiff dosser has knocked out a lot of people. You know? But I tell you this, though. Tyson Fury knocking out Dillian Whyte, it does make Anthony Joshua's resume not that impressive as much as it was. Why? Because Tyson Fury and Alexander Povetkin has done the same thing now. So that's not a great accomplishment, is it? If Dillian Whyte loses his next 2 fights, that meant that loss or that win from AJ is not what it used to be. We could always argue that he was the first to do it, sure. But he ain't the only one to do it no more. Him and Povetkin. Now it's him, Povetkin, Fury. You know. And then at that point, if Dillian Whyte loses, if he loses one more time, they're going to just call him the second coming of Derek Chisora. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. Hit that like button, guys. Can everyone, don't look at someone else, just hit the like button. Each and every individual on here that hasn't hit the like button, hit the like button. There's a reason why I'm saying that. Salute Kurt. Wilder said he is continuing his journey today. Bobby Collins, counterpunch to you. I love to hear that. You know I'm going to counterpunch that. Deontay Wilder, we need someone like him over in the States. I miss Deontay Wilder because Jarrell Miller has not been tested. That's why. We need more American fucking heavyweights. Michael Hunter, his promotion is trash. Not saying he's not a good fighter. What I am saying is that Michael Hunter is nowhere near the level of Deontay Wilder as far as popularity, as far as notoriety, as far as exposure, as far as competition, as far as any fucking thing. So, yes, we need Wilder back. Mark Anthony, yeah, where'd you hear that from? Bobby Collins, send that to me via Instagram, please. Wilder would KO Ruiz brutally. Kwan's big guns. I would love to see that. I would have loved to see him lay fucking Ruiz out on the floor and end his career. Because Ruiz has been bullshitting. The lucky fat bastard don't understand that he had a blessing, not once, but 2 times against Anthony Joshua. And he squandered it. He could have whooped Dillian White. That didn't have to be Tyson Fury. He could have been that guy. You know why Dillian White got his opportunity? Is because Andy Ruiz slacked off. That's why. You know what I mean? I used to like Andy Ruiz. You know, I used to, personally, I don't want this fight. Thank God. I thank God for the opportunity. Motherfucker didn't fight in 2 years, and when he fought, he got dropped by a fucking 40-year-old. You know what I mean? Like seriously. Then he ducked Ortiz, and Ortiz is older than him. Ortiz was older than him. No, I don't want that fight. Let's fight Chris Arreola. You fucking Luis Ortiz. ¿Qué yo estoy haciendo? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué tú no quieres conmigo? Pelea conmigo. ¿Por qué? Estoy viejo. Estoy cubano. Man, the fuck out of here. And then you wanted people to believe the $4 million wasn't real. What was it, from an email? You know what I mean? Come on, people. You know, so no. Look, you want to blame that? Blame that on Andy Ruiz. Yeah, I'd like to see Deontay Wilder do it. Then if Deontay Wilder did it, he could say, you know what I did? This is what I did. To this day, I knocked out Andy Ruiz. Something Anthony Juice and J should have did. I'm back, and I'm the Bronze Bomber, and I'm the WBC. Everybody knew it was me anyway. I knocked Fury out the first fight. They took it from me. Now I got it back. Glass. You see how I put Ruiz's brains all over the canvas. I looked his son in his eyes while I crippled his daddy. To this day. That would have happened. I would have loved to see it. It'd been gruesome. But get Andy Ruiz out of here. I'm tired of Andy Ruiz fucking everything up. You know? The bully AJ gets all the tough knocked out. The bully AJ gets all the toughness knocked out of him. That was funny. Oh, man. To this day that he would start twerking. He probably would start knocking people out. No! Wilder, no! Like, no, don't shake your ass, Deontay. I can do what I want to do. Because I'm Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Well, I'm so frustrated. Oh, my God. If Fury vacates that, should do a 8-man tournament. That would be cool. Fury is a double XL version of Usyk. No, he is not a double XL version of fucking Usyk. No. Kurt, do you have the water spike? No, I don't. Tay Jones was live for his statue reveal, and he said it at the end of his speech. Uh, that's what Tay Jones said, right? Okay. Can you timestamp that for me so I don't have to look at the whole fucking thing? I know he has a statue, which is great. But understand, that's what Tay said, not what Wilder said. So that's really still not official. That's fucking hearsay. That's hearsay. The only thing, Fury is something Usyk has never experienced. Exactly, St. Don. Usyk is something that Fury has never experienced. Counterpunch. See, those two guys will have a very interesting fight. What happens if AJ wins this next match? That means all this shit about Usyk, Tyson Fury just goes away. And you know something? You sure as shit is willing and ready for Tyson Fury to come back and say, Anthony Joshua, AJ, you big dosa, I'm coming back for my belts, lad. See you in Saudi Arabia, you bum. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because as long as if Usyk had that damn belt, what'll happen if Usyk has that belt, or those belts, sorry, plural, that's what we would be dealing with. Okay? We wouldn't be dealing with that type of aggression, that type of energy. We wouldn't see that from Tyson Fury. If AJ dares to win, the haters gonna cry a river. Now that's true. If AJ beats Usyk, people are going to cry, piss, moan, yell, hate, bait, non-celebrate. That's what they're gonna do. So I agree with that. Because you have a lot of AJ haters just naturally. Some people, I think it's just popular to not like the popular. You know what I mean? Fury struggles with people similar height to him. AJ struggles with smaller people than him. Maybe. I don't know. Because if that's the case, why did he give Vladimir Klitschko a boxing lesson? See, Wilder just had this big ass power, and certain things to someone complex like Tyson Fury, certain punches, the most simple punches are the most effective to somebody complex. Especially when you throw one at a time because you don't know when one's coming. So you can anticipate the jab, right hand. But if it's just a right hand at a random time when you're trying to get off yourself, that could be a problem. If Fury beat Usyk, haters will say Fury ducked Joshua, let's be honest. No, because if Fury fights Usyk at any time, that meant Usyk had to beat Joshua. That means Joshua wouldn't be in the topic or in the picture anyway. Counterpunch. Loads of channels hate Fury. Yeah. The Fury hate is real. I mean, we seen that 2020, all of 2020, damn near, all of 2021. We seen so many channels hate on Tyson Fury to the point it's like, damn, what do y'all got against this fucking guy? All he did was beat up Deontay. Somebody was going to eventually do it. Somebody was going to take that right hand from him and beat him with it. And that's what Tyson Fury did in the second fight. I like to see Usyk feet move to try and get on the inside of that long reach. Me too. But it will happen. Because to St. Don, I'm like this. If Otto Vailene can do that shit, Usyk will definitely be able to do that shit. Kurt, there's a naked woman behind you. As long as the naked woman don't have a gun, a knife, a grenade, or something, I don't give a shit. Fury brings some on himself with his big BS talk. Mr. Landlord 3 times. That's true. Kurt, Bob Arum said Fury is waiting for Usyk and Joshua winner. Yeah. Mr. Landlord, Joshua will never be undisputed. Well, if he loses, I don't see him becoming undisputed. That's always something that he wanted to be. And one thing we'll know, he won't be a Lennox Lewis, will he? But Joshua being a bully, no, I don't think he's a bully. I think that, Anthony Joshua is a guy that he gets pissed off like everybody else. Hey, are we talking about Fury, Usyk? We all forgot the same Fury ruined AJ mentality with the so-called contract. Well, that fight's supposed to happen, man. That fight could have happened, and I think the fights that happen supposed to happen. I think they supposed to happen. But Tyson Fury, because it was too many things that was opening up for that. That arbitration should have done that. Not saying it wasn't right. I'm just saying it could have been. They knew what they were going to do. Bob Arum had already started looking at venues before that arbitration even supposedly was determined. So that should tell you, just in case. No, just in case. If you were anticipating a mega fight with another fighter in another production or network, why would you be looking for venues for a mandatory or an arbitration like Deontay Wilder, something we've already saw? The entire world will hype up Usyk as the one to beat Fury, and Fury will once again make it look too easy. Fuck off. I would like to see that shit. It's easy to talk that shit, but it's another thing to get a contract signed. And it's another thing to see a man that you claim that will beat Usyk that easy, or hyped up Usyk or whatever. It's easy for you to say that when a guy's saying that, hey, I'm retiring. My thing is like this. Stop making excuses for fucking people. Hatred for Hearn made them reject the $100 million. What $100 million? Fury's fans are in denial. Fury calls out AJ knowing he is still under contract with Wilder. He brings up having a bare knuckle fight, but he knows he won't have to fight him. The thing is, no one wants to fight a Ukrainian at the moment. Same with Scotland in World Cup qualifiers. They know the world is against them. AJ beats Usyk, and Fury will duck AJ again. Watch me say this. Israel, if AJ beats Usyk, I don't think Tyson Fury would duck AJ. I think Tyson Fury would come back and fight AJ. I would say this though. If Usyk beats AJ, Tyson Fury would just say, you know what? AJ's a bum. He's a Dalsa. That's why I'm staying retired. Tyson Fury won't retire. He will fight the winner of AJ and Usyk. True blue. We'll see. I mean, as long as he fights the winner, if it's either or. I don't know about the winner. I think that's one-sided. He will only fight AJ because he knows if AJ beats Usyk, the money will be there. So you know what that says? Tyson Fury should no longer sit there and talk shit or talking about I'm a fucking Spartan. It is not about the money. It is about the money. Because if Anthony Joshua knocks out Alexander Usyk, people, do you see the energy will shoot through the roof for Tyson Fury to come back to the sport of boxing to have once again an all-British showdown between two fucking champions. A two-time world champion taking on a three-time world champion, all-British showdown. Archie Bold. Kurt, you ignoring me? No. I hate when people do that. I just didn't see the see, now that's all I read that you had, or you're annoying me. I don't know what the hell you said. Why is AJ not ranked mandatory? Now the WBC, as he is no longer the champion. Well, what happens with sanctioning bodies when you were the champion and you decide to challenge for other sanctioning bodies? You're automatically taken off WBC's rankings. And in this case, he's fighting for 4 belts, which 3 legitimate belts. So then, therefore, the WBC automatically takes you off the rankings. That's how it works. I don't know why. That's just how they do things. Fury versus Usyk is a fight for the boxing fans, not for the casuals. I believe that. And people won't understand what the fuck's going on once Tyson Fury is beginning to be hit more than we've seen him in a long fucking time. Since 2019 against Otto Vailin. Bars. Joshua's overrated. His skills are terrible. Usyk is skilled, but he has no power. Ridgy, no. Because if Anthony Joshua was that fucking terrible, he would have been picked apart just like Joey Calzaghe and Jeff Lacey. Because that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say Jeff Lacey was a guy that had limited fucking skills, but he got destroyed by someone like Kalnaki. But Kalnaki was supposed to have no power, but he was just this guy that was so skilled. The IBO is an older organization than the WBO and the IBF. Well, if they are, they still hold no power. But then I'm like, if they don't, why the fuck are you carrying that shit around? I would have got rid of that damn belt and gave it to somebody that just was hard up to want a supposed world belt. Kurt, how much you reckon a Fury versus Usyk fight is worth? $30 million. $30 million. You know, make no illusions. That's not an AJ Fury fight. It's not. It's just not. You know, I mean, let's face it. Usyk's already beat Joyce, Chisora, Joshua, Bellew. You know? And I don't want to hear that shit. Oh, that was in the ranking. That was the World Boxing Super Series. Listen. He beat Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce kept coming, though. But he still beat Joe Joyce. And he showed a big-ass dude like that, no headgear. Okay? So, yeah. He already beat Joyce. So, yeah. And understand something. Usyk has a chin. What's up, Kurt? Listening to your stream while working. Psycho Crusher, get your work on, brother. Stuntman, what's up? Scants Rants in the place to be. Counterpunch, I see. Bars. If AJ beats Usyk, he fights Fury December 22. That is the match we all want to see. Well, that's the only fight that we can see. Because Usyk will be then out. Then I guess he would worry about either going back to fight in the Ukraine or whatever the fuck. Joshua would get his belts back. Tyson Fury would have to come back. Or if he doesn't come back, we would have to deal with Wilder after Wilder knocks fucking Andy Ruiz's brains out. But then Andy Ruiz still has to beat Luis Ortiz. So let's say Luis Ortiz knocks out Ruiz and Deontay Wilder doesn't come back, or Tyson Fury doesn't come back. That meant Anthony Joshua and Luis Ortiz would have to fight each other for undisputed. That might sound far-fetched because, you know, let's face it, Luis Ortiz is old, bro. He's old. Kalnaki skills, where he has them under his foot. I don't know. Usyk has a better resume than Fury, and it's only been a couple of years. Well, Wilder twice. Vladimir Klitschko, I don't think so. Versus AJ Bellew, Joyce, Chisora. I mean, it's all different routes. Ortiz is turning 65 this year. Usyk beat Hunter. That's right, he did beat Hunter. Fuck, I forgot all about Michael Hunter. Yeah, he beat Michael Hunter's ass too. So sorry. Hunter, Chisora, Joshua, Joyce. Who else? Bellew. Bellew took out David Haye, people. He whooped him twice. Then he gets knocked out by Alexander Usyk. Why do you think David Haye hates Usyk as much? Because Usyk is the guy that beat the guy that beat him. That's why. Bars. So Kim, counterpunch to you. Joyce was in the amateurs for Usyk. It doesn't count. I don't want to hear that shit, Chris Andre boxing. You know why? Because that shit was full contact. That's why. Those guys weren't wearing fucking protection. That was that might as well been a fucking professional fight because it really was no. The only difference between the two is they didn't go the amount of rounds, but everything else was right on key. Haye was good, but Usyk's better. I want Joshua to win against Usyk, and Fury will end Joshua's career. Well, somebody's going to end it. But here's the thing. I'm not dead set that if AJ beats Usyk, I'm not set that Tyson Fury will beat Joshua. Especially if he beats Usyk. Why? Because he will have the confidence back, he'll have the belts back, and I always thought the style matchup was always interesting. See, Anthony Joshua is no Deontay Wilder by no means. They don't fight nothing alike. One has a big right hand. The other one has even-handed punching power and average boxing ability. Old Del Boy battered Chisora. Old Del Boy Chisora battered Usyk. Fuck off. He didn't batter him enough, did he? He didn't batter him enough to make a decision or get a decision, did he? No. What ounce gloves were they using, Usyk versus Joyce? I don't know. I think 8, 10? If AJ beats Usyk, he will become the next version of himself. So, that's what we're dealing with. So, AJ, he's training hard. I think he's better in rematches. You got a guy that's coming out of a war, that's lost some pounds. So we'll see how he's progressing. We don't know what's going on in Poland, because we haven't heard anything from Alexander Usyk. He's been, he hasn't really been as verbal as he was before, and I think because of that, he's worried about that war over there. Haye cut his brow with a razor sharp to get rid of fighting off Fury. Enough said. Damn. AJ is definitely better at rematches. So true. Haye sparked Chisora clean out. People said Chisora should have retired after that. Well, he did knock out. David Haye did knock out Derek Chisora. You can't take that away from David Haye. Usyk will smoke AJ this time. AJ will gas out if he tries to heavy combos. Well, if that happens, he goes for the gusto and he comes up short. That means Usyk will be the unified heavyweight champion of the world, undisputed former, undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. AJ looking like Rocky training for Drago. Yeah? He's fighting a little Drago. I hope the war hasn't taken Usyk's smile away. I don't know, man. I hope not either. Because if you change somebody's mood, you change their energy. You change their energy, you might change their thought process. You change the thought process, you might change a lot that could affect that person. AJ always wins the rematch. Well, we'll see. We will see if he always wins the rematch. If anything, it's motivating him, not good for AJ. Yeah. AJ has less power than Wilder for Fury. For the most difficult fight was Fury. The other ones, AJ Usyk are easy fights for Fury. Well, understand this, Rigi. You're talking about different levels of power compared to having the ability to hurt another fighter. What you guys are getting carried away with is that because Tyson Fury got up from a couple shots from Deontay Wilder, doesn't mean he can't consistently, he can't be knocked out by somebody with less punching power, punch for punch. It's all about technique in boxing. Not how hard a person can hit you, is how many times they can hit you effectively and get you out of there. And those are the breaks. But back to AJ. AJ, I don't think he's a bully. I just think you poke the bear and you can only do that shit so much, and eventually he will come for you. You know, I think that's what happened with those damn kids. I think those kids should have shut the fuck up. But they did get humbled and they did get quiet. But anyway, thank you guys for showing up for the live stream. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. You guys look forward to new and improved content day by day. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone has been counterpunching. Peace.